Hey guys, welcome to MyAirbags. I'm Eli, and right now we are removing the airbag control module on this Ford Focus. To remove the airbag module on the Ford Focus, you're going to need a flathead, a socket with a 10mm. So the first step we always want to do is disconnect the battery from the car first. Anytime we work with the airbag system, whether it's the seat belts, the airbags, or the module itself, we always want to disconnect the battery. The battery is located right in here. We're going to take this cover off. And we're going to start by removing the negative cable first. There's a little nut right over there. We're not going to completely remove it. We'll just loosen it up so that that cable can just come right out. I'm using my 10mm socket. And that will slide right up. Put it completely to the side. We're going to do the same thing on the positive right over here. Just loosen it up just a bit, and that'll come right up. And then just completely put it to the side. And I would actually put the cover back on, just so those contacts won't make a connection with the battery while we're working on the airbag system. Once in the car, you want to go ahead and move your seat back, and the steering wheel, just move it up and get it out of the way. We want to get right in here and start working on taking out the side panel. Down here by the brake and acceleration pedals, we have this panel that we want to remove. I'm going to start by removing this part first. You take your flathead and you work right over here on this side, and then it will slide this way. This part over here needs to come out. You can use a little pry tool. You can also just kind of get right underneath with your hands and give it a nice flat even pull, just like that. And then this part will come right out. Now we're going to slide it out. There's tabs that are in the top here, and they go in like this way, and also here, that way. So we want to pull down and that way. Down. Okay, here's what you need to know. When the car gets into an accident, there's three main things that could be causing the light to be on: the airbags, the airbag computer module, and the seat belts. Any deployed airbags must be replaced with new airbags. You can buy a new airbag module. The problem is they cost up to a few $100s, plus you have to pay a dealership technician to go in and program it to your car. In other words, you have to marry the new unit to your car. Here at MyAirbags.com, we work closely with body shops, collision shops, and salvage rebuilders in all 50 states. Instead of buying a new airbag computer, we can actually reset your original airbag module. In other words, we clear it of all codes. And because it's original to your car, programming is not necessary. Seatbelts also deploy, and they throw trouble code. Instead of buying expensive replacements, you can actually send in your seatbelts along with your module. Our seatbelt tanks are licensed and they hold an ATF certification. This means that after your seatbelts are rebuilt, they will work again as designed. They will deploy in another accident event. Right after I remove this airbag module, stick around and we'll take a peek at the seatbelts. If you want to know more, just click on the link in the description below, or just go to MyAirbags.com. Right over here we have an air vent piece that we want to disconnect. It's connected right here and at the top, and you kind of just pull down and out. Right there is the module. You can clearly see the module, the back side of it anyways. You can see the two bolts here that hold it from the back, and there's one more bolt on the other side in the front. There's also the plugs that we need to get to first. So let's go on the passenger side. And you want to do the same thing here on the passenger side. Just take your flathead screwdriver and work this part first. And then this side has that black fastener that holds this part together as well. You can use a little pry tool or just get underneath and use nice even force. Just like that. And it comes right out. Next, just grab hold of this and you want to pull downwards towards the front. Just like that. Same type of system here. The tabs going in and the tabs in the back. Next, we want to remove this vent here. Same thing as the passenger side. Just pull down and then out. We've also got this harness that's in the way. It's held down right here. It's a little slider piece here. You slide it out this way. And then on the inside, it's held down by this little circular piece. And all you got to do is just squeeze this part here, and then this part will come right out. So I can actually push on that little tab, and then on the other side as well, and then it comes right out, just like that. Kind of just want to push that to the side. Now we have an even better view of the whole back part of the airbag module. The tricky part is the plugs. And we're going to start with the plugs first to make sure there's no power going to the module. We don't want any chance of the module being powered up while we're taking out the module. You're looking at the module right over here from the passenger driver side. I want to show you how to remove the plugs right here. Make sure you disconnect the battery before you do this, and make sure you do the plugs before you actually unbolt the modules. The goal is to release these gray tabs forward. And the way you do that is to get in the front of them, there's a little tab that you will press down on. And while you're pressing down on that, at the same time, you want to push the gray tab forward. So we're going to get right in front and push down, and then push down on the black tab in the front, and then the gray tab will move forward. And as that happens, the harness will release. Alright, now both plugs have been disconnected. Let's go ahead and use our 10mm to disconnect the bolts that hold it down, and then I'll give you a closer look at how the plugs were attached to the front of this. And now we can go ahead and take up the 3 nuts holding it down with our 10mm. If you don't do it the proper way, you are risking the module thinking that the car is rolling over or something dangerous is happening, and we don't want that. So we want to go ahead and do the proper procedure first. Car battery, unplug, and then take up the module. Same procedure goes to when you put it back in. Unplug the car battery, bolt it down, and then plug it in. 10mm on these nuts right over here. If your car was in an accident, we can actually reset the original module that was in the car during the accident. Dealerships and some body shops that don't know about us yet, they will actually recommend that you replace this unit. The problem is they do go for a couple $100. Here at MyAirbags, since 2006, we have been resetting these modules. Now, if you're someone who rebuilds cars regularly, like a body shop, salvage yard, or you just flip cars, you already know that the seatbelts do deploy and they lock up, and they also throw a trouble code, so you would have to replace them. Here at MyAirbags.com, you can actually get the seatbelts rebuilt professionally. A lot of people, they send in the module and then they send in the seatbelts along with it in one package. That way, once we get it, we can service it and send it back out to you within 24 hours of receiving it. Of course, we have a warranty on everything we service. So let's take a brief look at how we get to the seatbelt itself. We're going to start with this foot panel here. This foot panel goes over the top of the panel that's on the side where the seatbelt is. So we're going to start here, and we're going to get right between the carpeting and this panel here. I'm just going to use my hands. You could use a little flat bar, but if you just pull, get right in between and give it a nice pull, you hear those pops. Those are the tabs. Just pull it up. You can see here is just these plastic tabs holding it right down. And we're going to continue along the side here. Once I have this side released, I'm going to go to the back seat. So we want to take up this part because it holds down the top of this side panel, and then just kind of give it a pull, just like that. Once they've all popped right off, you kind of see them right there. These tabs here that hold it down. So here we have the main pretensioner unit right here. This is where the seatbelt rolls right into right here. And when it deploys, it goes from the module, it sends a signal to these yellow plugs right here that plug right into the unit. See those yellow plugs? Those are the plugs that go right into the unit, and it tells it to deploy and locks up the seatbelt. Once that's bad, you have to replace it or else you'll get a code. Here at MyAirbags, we can get all this professionally repaired and it will work as designed. The interesting thing on this car, it has a triple stage seatbelt system. It means that on one side, there's 3 parts that deploy. On older cars, it usually had just one plug that received the signal to deploy, and that means that one part deployed. On this car, there's 3 parts that receive signals to deploy. Right here's the first one, this yellow plug with that tube right there, and then another one right back there with that cylinder shaped little connector right there. And then the third one is actually at the end of this seatbelt. If you follow it down, you can see how it doesn't just stop on the side, it goes down in there. And if we pull this carpet back, what you're seeing here is this long cylinder shaped tube right here. And guess what? Yep, there's another yellow plug right there. That also receives a signal from the module, and it deploys and locks up this part down here. And this basically is an extra safety feature that this car has. So on this Ford Focus, if we're removing the seatbelt pretensioner unit, we're gonna start by, of course, removing the battery from the vehicle. That way there's no power connection. Anytime we're dealing with the airbag system or safety, we always wanna make sure there's no power coming into the car in through these plugs. So disconnect the battery, and then we're gonna go ahead and remove these plugs. There's one right there. The other 2 plugs are right over there. 1, 2, remove those from the unit. Then we're gonna start removing the hardware. Right over here is one piece that you wanna get into and just unbolt. There's the second. And if you follow this seatbelt up, behind this panel up here, there's actually a bolt holding the top part of this. So basically you'll go ahead and just remove this part here, just kind of like we did with the bottom part, and then take out that bolt. Once you remove the bolts, I would actually just leave them back in the car. Go ahead and put them all back in, and then once you get it back after it's been professionally rebuilt, then go ahead and put them in. That way you don't lose them during shipping back or forth. So in summary, here at MyAirbags.com, we can actually rebuild your pretensioner retractor seatbelts on both driver and passenger side. Both of them do deploy, both of them do lock up, and they throw codes. You have to either replace them or get them professionally built. MyAirbags.com is where you want to go to get that done. You can put those in a box along with your airbag module, select your year, make, and model, and then add the parts to the car that you would like to have serviced. Next, just fill out your information, check out. Once you've successfully paid and checked out, you can print out the confirmation barcode and put it right inside the box with your parts. No printer, no problem. You can go ahead and write out your name, address, phone number, and email address, and then just place that information inside the box with your parts. Once we receive the parts here at MyAirbags.com, we'll process the order, we'll service your parts, we'll ship it out to you within 24 hours. Everything we service comes with a warranty. Hey guys, if you're sitting there with a question in mind, go to MyAirbags.com and click on Help. On there, you can type in a keyword or a question, and most likely the right answer will pop up right for you. If it doesn't, we're always here on the phones. You can email us, chat with us, or you can even just text us. We're always here to help you, MyAirbags.com. Now's the time to give us a big like, subscribe to our channel. We have more videos just like this. Comment. I really enjoy reading your comments. This is Eli with MyAirbags.com. Save time and money on your next project.